Welcome back to the Journey into Irish Music podcast. This is part 2 of my interview with John McCann. Cue the intro. The history of Irish music is as rich and magical as the island itself. Join me as we travel across Ireland and even down to the local pub to discover what makes Irish music so fascinating. This is Journey into Irish Music. There's another good point about Irish music, and you even talked about it, the classic GCD chord progression, and playing multiple sets, playing for hours at a time. How do you keep the songs straight?
That's a good question. It's we definitely don't do like sets. When we play, we try to do it for the audience that's in front of us at the time. A lot of time the set that would work on Friday isn't going to be the one. It's kind of like up and down as far as like sometimes it looks kind of unprofessional that we're like saying, should we do this instead of, like a lot of bands will just go straight into they know exactly what they're doing and they have all their banter and everything set up. And that's one of the things that people like about us is that we're doing it. What we're talking to each other about is real. You don't know if this song is a good idea today. It was great yesterday, but so a lot of times the way you keep it rolling is just the way the audience is reacting to you. And then there's certain songs that we do a lot of songs that we do play regularly together because they just match up, and also because Bob plays the violin and mandolin. We can't just keep mandolin this song, violin, so you have to do at least like 2 or 3, 4 songs on the mandolin, then do the violin set type of thing. So that's just logical, so that's one of the things that we have to figure out if we are trying to figure out a set is, okay, that's next song has to be a violin song because I just put the violin on. Now with Galway Girl, he starts with the mandolin and finishes with the violin. So that can be pretty cool.
So how do you keep your chord progression straight from song to song? So a lot of people don't know, and I'll reveal to our listeners that a lot of Irish songs have essentially the same chord progression, except somewhere in there there's something slightly different. I need to have a book, and it fascinates me how people keep it straight. So that's why I ask everyone in an interview, how do you do it?
Well, I just do songs by the feel of it. I do have like a book that has mostly just the names of songs, and so I'll pick the next song according to what the audience looks like they'll do, and it is hard to there is a couple songs that are so much alike in Irish music, like that you'll actually start singing one and you find out then you start singing the other one.
For me, it's Moonshiner and Mountain Dew. They're different tempos.
Moonshiner is the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, yeah. It's that Moonshiner is so similar to every other song.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd be playing, like, oh, I'm playing Moonshiner.
Moonshine, yeah, that is definitely, that's just the 3-chord. And I tell people, too, that want to play Irish music, I'll say, this might sound funny to you, but how are your polka chops? Because,
right.
It's not a very cool word in the music world to say polka.
Still, for some reason.
Maybe for Bob. Because he's corny as hell.
Right, sure.
But I said, no, and even when we played up at Put-in Bay, and there's a lot of the people are European that work there and stuff. And I was talking to this Yugoslavian girl, and she said, I love your music because it reminds me of home. And I said, well, how's that? She goes, no, there's the beat that is the same, and it's more of a European feel. And I didn't even think of that. I thought, well, that's, you would have yours and Irish would have theirs, and the Irish and English Scottish thing is kind of, that's very close related. But, when she said that, that made me really happy, because for her to say your music reminds me, she can hardly speak English, and she said, yeah, it reminds me of home. I thought, wow, that's great.
And that's amazing. And also, talk about polka. It's not really cool unless you live in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Steelers, the polka song and stuff. Yeah. We play so many. We're old guys, so we play so many styles, and we play weddings too. So there's always going to be somebody that wants to do a polka thing, and we may not know the words, but we can do enough polka music type stuff where they can do polkas and stuff like that. And what's our polka songs, Bob?
She's too fat.
She's too fat for me. And the Steelers polka, of course. That's
Steelers polka. Yeah. Anything from the Lawrence Welk, and people in Pittsburgh will love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what you're doing now. Still playing with corned beef and curry,
right? And we do the thing where we play lots and lots of Irish music, but we play in different audiences and stuff. So, like we've done trop rock shows and stuff like that because we found that we're not like a Jimmy Buffett-esque band at all. We only like know a few of those kind of songs. But those people like fun music,
right? And
so we found that they and I think that we're throwing them a curve that they want,
right?
And and all the fiddle stuff and the jig stuff, the upbeat stuff, and all the kidding around,
right? Of course,
they find it very entertaining, and I think it's a breath of fresh air. But anyhow, we're getting a lot of gigs from. We played down in Florida, Music on the Bay,
right?
And that's a big trop rock thing. We played at Putin Bay, on the island there, several different places up there. But we always play a lot of Irish stuff at these places, and it's accepted pretty nice. And and then when we're also at these places, and there'll be like after parties and things like that.
Right.
And we will play stuff we like to these people just enjoying themselves instead of entertaining the crowd, and they love this stuff that we do, and it definitely is a different recipe than they're getting most of the time.
Well, that's awesome. And you talked about the jig beat.
Oh yeah, you gotta be gotta be something wrong with you if you don't like that.
Right, and that's fascinating, and that always seems to be the most upbeat Irish songs is the jig. And Bob and I talked about it. The 3/4 rhythm somehow gets into people.
Oh yeah. It's like almost hypnotic.
This is Morrison's Jig, live, performed by John McCann and Bob Banerjee.
All of a sudden it just hits them, and then they start, and it cheers them up,
Right, absolutely.
They want more too, until they get like tired. It does tire them out.
Well, sure. Not everybody can do the Irish dance.
What else is, but you know what? Usually when we're playing for a big audience, somebody's got a daughter, somebody's got a wife that knows some step dancing.
Right.
And we'll have them on, and it's just great because they're beaming with pride because their daughter's up there in front of all these people dancing, and we're loving it because it's usually some beautiful girl. So it's like, so it really works out nicely, and it makes it, it gives you that feel like, you're really, everybody's having a good time.
Awesome. And so also currently, we are in Corona times, as everyone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or if you're listening to this in 100 years, this was during Corona times. You have been recording music and putting it on Facebook, social media. So
yeah,
tell me about that. What sort of inspired that, and why do you keep doing it?
Well, one of the reasons is just because I miss it, And I think that the Corona thing it makes us all think about a lot of things and I think after this is over, everybody's going to be a little bit different. They'll appreciate things in a different way. Just yesterday, I went to this place that I play at every Wednesday, Billy's Roadhouse, and it's been closed. No, it's not closed. They're doing takeout, and I go in there and I haven't played there for long time, but I played there. I've been playing there for years too, So when I go in there, the girl that was giving my order. It's just like, it was so good to see her. And she's all, most of the time it was like, she's busy, this and that. But, it was just, I wanted to like hug her, it's like, oh my
Right.
God, I can't, we both have masks on and stuff like that. And
Right.
I mean, I think a lot of people will appreciate each other a little more, because they're, we take it for granted.
So you're still giving back to the audience by
and some of these songs that I put on there are just songs, especially like that I put on like Facebook and things like that, are some of them are songs that I'm not able to play all the time, because of they need more upbeat things, or the audience might not be able to pay close enough attention to the beautiful things. But I've been putting funny ones on there too. So, I don't know if you heard "George Is on My Mind," but that.
Oh, I love that song. I didn't see that one. I'm gonna have to go on your page for it.
Yeah, it's on there. Yeah.
So, let's talk about after we can all hang out again.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So what are you, what kind of projects do you have? What is your next recording project? Even if it's not, Irish music.
Well, Bob and I were just talking about doing a song called "I Used to Love Her," and adding a bunch of Pittsburgh musicians and doing cameos. We did do a CD in 2019.
Okay.
That was our newest one. And
well, tell me about that.
It has a lot. It's called Live-ish Irish, and it has a lot of songs that we were actually planning on doing it as a live project. And then as we were in the studio with it playing these songs live, but we figured we could beef them up a little bit, put a bass line in there, maybe put, this guy, Joe Monroe did it for us, and he's a musician and a keyboard player. And so we did use the studio to beef it up, and some of the songs are very much studio-esque, so it's not live anymore, but it's live-ish.
Live-ish?
Yeah.
That's a great idea, and it sounds great too, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got a lot of good feedback about it, but we're all missing it really bad, and we're trying to figure out ways to get together and like maybe on a Zoom type of thing, and like this thing today, I sent that song to both my daughters. My daughters are both singers and dancers, and one lives in London and one lives in New York City, and they're very, very artistic girls, and they're doing great. But I want them to do cameos in this, and Bob's daughter is a great, musician and singer too.
The second generation.
Yeah. She's really, she's accomplished. She's plays the, violin. She's been playing a long time. The dad like Bob, I'm sure.
Right.
That couldn't have hurt,
Sure. Of course not.
I didn't have that in my family, we had a piano when I was little, but I never had any, since I was the baby of the family. My mom and dad, they spent money on, piano lessons for my older, there's 6 of us, my 2 older sisters, and then my 3 older brothers. By the time they got to me, they just said, you know what, we're not wasting any more money on it. The one guy that would have done something with it,
Right. Why?
I guess they always say the baby of the family often is the one that's, artistic.
Right. Sure.
So, I would go down to my cousin had a piano. I used to like to play with that, and back in those days that that's how old I am. You listen to the transistor radio under the pillow. This is a speaker this big.
Oh, sure. I had
AM radio.
45.
Yeah. And it was, the Beatles and Ed Sullivan Show, things like that. That's where it was, I would never miss those music shows. Even the ones that I wasn't crazy about, I still watched them. That was really my only way of seeing it, Mitch Miller, geez,
Sing along with Mitch, ladies.
Yeah.
So
he didn't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. When this is all over, where's the first place you want to play, and what's the first song?
Oh God,
to play?
That's
don't think about it too hard. Just
no. Well, I like the setting at Mullaney's Harp and Fiddle, because it is actually a real nice pub setting. They actually have a stage and they have lights, and and the people are in their Irish tables in front of you, and the bar is over here. But one of these places where everybody can see you, So
right. Right. I think I've seen you guys play there. That was actually the inspiration. I told the story in the last episode. I saw you guys there, and that was the inspiration for me to start my own Irish band.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So that would probably be a good place to start up back. When I play solo every week too. So I play at this place called Billy's, and it's only like a couple of miles away from my house, and it's kind of taken over for the hole that was left from the Getaway, So that was one of the nice things, that when the Getaway thing, when the different owners took it over, they didn't want to continue the same thing. And by the way, it's gone under. It's for sale now. If you want to buy a bar, it's been for sale.
I got my pocket.
Yeah, there 2 people bought it since then, and it just didn't fly anymore.
Right.
Just because I wasn't there, obviously.
Of course not. What? I mean, elementary, 20 some odd years.
Yeah. I told them, I said, they didn't pay me because, they wanted to be nice,
Right. So first song, we know where we're going to play. Probably those 2 places first.
Well, first song, I like the Star of the County Down is the first song, because it's got impact, and it's a true Irish song, and it's just the kind of song that I think the audience gets a pretty good idea what we're about with a song like that.
This is Star of the County Down by Sláinte, licensed under an Attribution-Share Alike 3.0 United States license.
All right, you have heard it here first. Ladies and gentlemen of Pittsburgh, when you are able to get together, learn how to interact and play and clap along to Star of the County Down. You can find it. Tons of people have done it. That's your homework for after Corona times. Yeah. John, thank you so much for being on my show. I could not have asked for more, again, embarrassment of riches, talking to, again, just a fixture in the Pittsburgh Irish music scene and music scene in general. So thank you so much for being with me, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well.
Oh, I do. I did enjoy it very much, and thank you for having me.
And hopefully when Corona times are over, I can visit Pittsburgh again, and we can hang out.
Yeah, we'll get you up there. It is another thing we do is sometimes it can be a blessing or a curse, you get other people up, and
Right. As I well know. Usually a curse when I do it. So anyway, thank you so much, and we'll get you at you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
We'll see you.
All right.
30-second Bodhrán by Craig Mayhem. This Day by John McCann, used with permission. M.T.A, John McCann version. Copyright Dropkick Murphys. Maggie, McPherson's Lament. Danny Boy, traditional. Performed by John McCann, used with permission. Morrison's Jig, traditional. Performed by Corned Beef and Curry, used with permission. Star of the County Down by Sláinte, licensed under an Attribution-Share Alike 3.0 United States license. Kitty McGee, traditional. Performed by Craig Mayhem.